You're watching Telecom TV for Mobile World Congress 2016 in Barcelona. And I'm joined now by Julian Hardy, who is an independent expert on mobile technologies. Julian, the theme of this show this year is mobile is everything. But is mobile really everything?
Mobile covers virtually everything that we do. It's now involved in health monitoring, it's involved in education and learning globally. Of course, we all use our smartphones around the world, and everyone at this conference is carrying at least one smartphone. So in many ways, mobile covers virtually everything that people do. Of course, it isn't truly everything in the world, but it's a good start.
When we look at apps and mobile apps, where are we with the testing and development of mobile apps?
So the industry is moving forward very slowly. So we've got lots and lots of things called test automation, and you can use software from the manufacturers, from the companies who write the operating systems, and for commercial people to test the applications. We can run the tests on big test farms that are provided by other companies, and now the great and the good, the big companies, are starting to provide these services as well. But all this testing is based on a limited understanding of what the users are actually doing in the field. And inherently, by ourselves, we don't understand much of what the real users are doing across the world using mobile technologies and mobile apps.
So there's practical limitations in our approach today?
Currently, yes.
So how do we get around that? How can we address this problem? Can we use analytics within apps?
Yes, I think so. There's two main ways that we can get additional information. One that people are already looking at, such as mining the feedback that people provide on social media and on the app store. So for instance, I say, wonderful app, 5 stars. Perhaps that tells me a little bit about the application. Perhaps I see something in a little bit more detail saying, it'd be great if I could copy and paste from this application 3 stars, but I'll give you 4 stars if you do whatever it is that I'd like you to do. So companies are starting to use this information. But mobile analytics adds something on top of that, because unlike everything else, it covers the whole user population. So if you look at feedback, very few people have provided feedback on apps. If I were to ask you, how many apps have you provided feedback on? 1? 0?
Probably on the fingers of one hand.
Fingers of one hand, and your phone has many more applications than the fingers on your hand, I hope. So we don't provide that feedback as a general rule, and that means that we may miss the important silent majority. So the analytics enables us to actually understand more about how the software is really being used. We can then use that and summarize it and analyze it and say, we notice that perhaps more people in France are using the search by name rather than using the drill down service. Is this important to us for improving our app? Well, perhaps it is. So perhaps we've been testing in English and now it's time to start testing in other languages, but based on actual data. We can also see where users are starting to drop off, and by that I mean that they were using the application and we wanted to go to the shopping cart and buy something, but half of them stopped at a certain point. And we started scratching our head and thinking, what the heck's going wrong? Well, we wouldn't know that any other way than using analytics. So it really enables us to augment and improve our testing. And furthermore, it means we can reduce some of the testing we were doing, which is the basic, does this work and does that work, because we're getting that data in real time of the application. So we can streamline and improve and focus our testing by using analytics.
Now, you're the lead author of the Mobile Analytics Playbook, and you have a copy here today. Where have you sourced this information and this research from?
So I've been doing a PhD part-time for the last 3 years in analytics, and this actually started from working with a company with about 10 to 15 million active users of their mobile app. And they had several analytics libraries in their application, but realized the numbers didn't align with each other. So one would say 15,000 users in this country, and the other one would say 25,000 users. And they then added a third library to try and correlate between these two, and they found even that one was different. And when I looked at this, I thought this is some form of insanity. So could we actually use analytics to improve our applications? Yes, we can, but first of all, we have to trust the data that they give us. So in the PhD, I've studied in the order of about 200 academic papers around the subject. There's relatively little on using analytics and using it to inform software testing, and that's the bulk of my work now. So this book is based on the academic research, but also based on industry experts who are working in the mobile field from various countries and based on my practical experiences working with companies internationally on helping them improve their mobile apps.
So where do you want to go with this next? What's your message for the industry?
So the message for the industry is, first of all, start looking at mobile analytics and using it to inform your testing. Also find ways to combine it with other information, such as the feedback from the app stores, because as we combine, we can triangulate things. Make sure that the analytics actually works and is trustworthy, and make sure we're addressing the privacy aspects of users. Because if I said to you that the application's tracking you now while you're sitting in this hall in Mobile World Congress, perhaps you wouldn't be quite so comfortable with that, particularly if it's tracking you in detail. So we need to think a little bit about the privacy aspects and the efficiency aspects of all this. Otherwise, we're going to do more harm than good. And then the final point I'd like to make is we'd love to hear from people about their feedback and experiences. Given this is a new subject, then there's a lot that we can learn as the authors of the book and improve and share and disseminate that information with people worldwide.
Excellent. And how can we get hold of a copy of your book?
So the best way to get this book is to go simply to themobileanalyticsplaybook.com, and that site will take you to a download link to get the book.
Julian, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.